Her best friend called me a loser at a party, right in front of her. She just laughed and said, "He tries his best." I didn't respond. Just took my jacket and left her there. 3 days later, she was posting about being publicly humiliated. It was supposed to be a simple weekend barbecue with Amanda's college friends. Nothing fancy, just burgers and beers at Mike and Emily's new place. I'd met most of them before, decent people, if a bit louder than my usual crowd. As Amanda's boyfriend of 3 years, I was used to these gatherings. I'm not the life of the party type. Never have been. I'm Ryan, 36, run my own construction business. Started with just me in a pickup truck 10 years ago. Now I've got 20 guys on payroll and contracts lined up for the next 18 months. I work hard, save smart, and don't waste time chasing validation from people who don't matter. Amanda, 34, works in marketing. She's always been more social than me, which I never minded. Opposites attract, right? She brings energy to my life, I bring stability to hers. At least that's what I thought. The barbecue started like any other. I was helping Mike with the grill while Amanda caught up with her girlfriends. I didn't think much of it when Jess showed up. I'd met her a few times, Amanda's best friend from college. Always got a weird vibe from her, but kept it to myself. Amanda adored her, said they were practically sisters. Jess had never bothered to hide her disdain for me, always had some backhanded comment about my job or clothes or the fact I'd never been to Europe. I usually let it slide. Not worth the drama. That night was different. I was bringing Amanda a fresh drink when I heard Jess's voice, louder than necessary. "Seriously, Amanda? Another summer without a real vacation? When are you going to stop settling and live a little?" Amanda laughed nervously. "We're saving for a house down payment. Besides, Ryan's business takes up a lot of his time." Jess rolled her eyes dramatically. "God, he's such a loser. No ambition beyond pouring concrete and hammering nails. You could do so much better." The group went quiet. Everyone was looking at me standing there with the drink in my hand. Looking at Amanda, waiting for her response. She laughed. Not nervously this time. A genuine laugh. "He tries his best," she said, taking the drink from my hand without meeting my eyes. "Not everyone can have a flashy career like yours, Jay." The conversation resumed as if nothing had happened, as if I hadn't just been completely disrespected by her friend and utterly betrayed by the woman I'd planned to propose to next month. I stood there for exactly 3 seconds. Then I set my own drink down, walked back to the chair where I'd left my jacket, picked it up, and headed for the door. "Ryan?" Amanda called after me, confusion in her voice. I didn't respond, didn't look back, just walked out, got in my truck, and drove home. My phone started blowing up before I even pulled into my driveway. 12 missed calls from Amanda. 23 texts ranging from confusion to anger. "Where did you go? You're embarrassing me. Why are you being so sensitive? Call me back right now." I turned off my phone and went to bed. The next morning I woke up at my usual time, 5:30 a.m., went for a run, showered, made coffee. When I finally turned my phone back on, there were 37 more messages from Amanda. The last few had changed tone completely. "I'm coming over. We need to talk. I've been knocking for 20 minutes. Where are you? This is childish, Ryan." I texted back one sentence. "I'm not discussing this over text. Call me when you're ready to talk like adults." She showed up at my door an hour later. "What the hell, Ryan?" she demanded, pushing past me into the living room. "You just walked out and left me stranded at Mike and Emily's." I closed the door calmly. "Stranded? You had your car, and plenty of friends to keep you company. You know what I mean. You embarrassed me in front of everyone." "Interesting choice of words," I said, leaning against the wall. "I embarrassed you? Not Jess calling me a loser to my face? Not you agreeing with her?" "I didn't agree. I was just diffusing the situation. By laughing? By saying I try my best? Like I'm some remedial student struggling to keep up? You're blowing this way out of proportion," she sighed, dropping onto my couch. "It was just Jess being Jess. Nobody takes her seriously." "I do," I said quietly. "And I took you seriously too, when you laughed instead of defending me." "So what? I'm supposed to cause a scene every time Jess says something bitchy? That's just how she is." I shook my head slowly. "No, that's how you allow her to be. There's a difference. It was just a stupid comment at a party." "It wasn't the comment, Amanda. It was your reaction to it." 3 years together, and you couldn't be bothered to say, "Don't talk about the man I love that way?" She stared at me, her expression shifting from defensive to worried. "Ryan, you're not actually upset about this, are you? It's not a big deal." "It is to me." She tried a different approach, her voice softening as she stood and moved toward me. "Baby, I'm sorry if your feelings got hurt. I wasn't thinking. Let's just move past this, okay? I've got that work dinner Thursday. Wear that blue shirt I like." I stepped back, maintaining distance between us. "I won't be attending." Her face hardened. "What do you mean?" "I mean I'm done, Amanda. We're done." "You can't be serious. You're breaking up with me over one comment?" "No. I'm breaking up with you because when someone called me a loser to my face, the woman who's supposed to love me laughed and agreed. That tells me everything I need to know about how you really see me." "This is ridiculous," she shouted, tears forming. "You're throwing away 3 years over nothing." "Not nothing. Self-respect." She tried everything. Crying, yelling, pleading, apologizing. When none of it worked, she finally stormed out, slamming the door behind her. Over the next 2 days, I ignored her calls and texts. Focused on work, hit the gym harder than usual, told my foreman I'd be unavailable for a few days and arranged for my crew leads to handle the current projects. I needed time to pack up Amanda's things from my place and retrieve mine from hers. We'd never officially moved in together, but after 3 years, our lives had become entangled. I was methodical about it, boxing everything neatly, making inventory lists. The engagement ring I'd already purchased went back into the safe. On the 3rd day I saw it. Amanda had posted on social media a long paragraph about being publicly humiliated by her boyfriend who abandoned her at a party over a harmless joke. How she was blindsided by my extreme overreaction and emotional immaturity. The comments were flowing in, mostly her friends offering support, calling me controlling, insecure, petty. Jess's comment was particularly rich. "You're better off without him. Men who can't take a joke are walking red flags." I didn't respond online. Instead, I texted Amanda, "I'll be dropping your things off tomorrow at 6. I've left your key in the small front pocket of your gray duffel bag. Please have my stuff ready." She replied immediately, "We need to talk about this like adults. Stop being childish." I didn't take the bait, just repeated, 6 p.m. Please have my things ready. When I arrived at her apartment the next evening, she was waiting. She'd dressed up, fixed her hair, put on the perfume she knew I liked. Classic Amanda manipulation tactics. I'd seen them work on me too many times before. "Ryan," she started, voice gentle. "This has gone far enough. We need to talk." "I'm just here for my things," I said, placing the boxes of her stuff in the entryway. "Please, 5 minutes, that's all I'm asking." I checked my watch. 5 minutes. She launched into a practiced speech about how sorry she was, how she'd been caught off guard by Jess's rudeness, how she'd reflected deeply on her behavior. "I've even talked to Jess," she continued. "Told her she needs to apologize to you. She's agreed to meet us for coffee and make things right." I almost laughed. "You still don't get it. This isn't about Jess." "I know, it's about my reaction, and I'm truly sorry, Ryan. It will never happen again." "You're right about that," I said, picking up the box with my belongings. "Where's the rest of my stuff?" She blinked, thrown off script. "That's it. Ryan, please. I love you. Doesn't that count for anything? Love without respect isn't love. It's convenience." Her desperation shifted to anger. "So that's it? 3 years thrown away because your ego got bruised?" "My ego is fine. My understanding of our relationship has changed. That's all." "You'll regret this," she snapped. "Good luck finding someone else who puts up with your boring workaholic lifestyle and your constant need for validation." I nodded. "Thank you for confirming my decision." As I headed for the door, she played her final card. "What about the couple's vacation to Cabo next month?" "The flights are non-refundable. Everyone's expecting us." I turned back. "Everyone? You mean your college friends?" "Jess?" Her silence was answer enough. "Enjoy Cabo," I said, closing the door behind me. The fallout was exactly what I expected. More social media posts painting me as the villain, mutual friends taking sides, Amanda's mother calling to tell me I was making a terrible mistake over a misunderstanding. I weathered it all quietly, focusing on work, reconnecting with friends I'd neglected, hitting the gym 5 days a week instead of 3. Living my life on my terms. 2 weeks later came the shift. Amanda's tone on social media changed. No more angry posts about me. Now she was sharing inspirational quotes about recognizing your worth and letting go of what doesn't serve you. Classic rebrand. Then Emily, Mike's wife, called me out of the blue. "Ryan, I think you should know something. After you left the barbecue," Jess kept going, "she spent 20 minutes trashing you to anyone who would listen. Eventually Mike told her to knock it off or leave. She went ballistic, said Amanda deserved better than some blue-collar nobody with no education. That's when Amanda finally defended you." "Too little too late," I said. "I know, but that's not why I'm calling." "The vacation to Cabo? It was supposed to be a surprise engagement trip. Amanda's been telling everyone you were going to propose." I felt a chill run down my spine. I had been planning to propose, but I'd never told Amanda, never mentioned the ring to anyone. "How would she know that?" I asked carefully. Emily hesitated. "She's been going through your things for months, Ryan, looking for signs you were serious about the relationship. She found the ring 2 months ago, took pictures of it, showed everyone. Jess has been helping her plan the wedding ever since." The invasion of privacy hit me harder than the initial disrespect. Amanda had been searching my house, violating my trust for months. "Thanks for telling me, Emily. One more thing. Jess and Mike's brother Ben? They've been hooking up for months. Amanda knew. Everyone knew except Mike. That's why Jess has been causing problems between you two. She's afraid you'll tell Mike about Ben." The pieces clicked into place. Amanda's tolerance of Jess's behavior, the sudden hostility toward me, the constant need to choose loyalty to her friend over respect for her boyfriend. A week later, Amanda showed up at my office unannounced. My secretary tried to stop her, but she pushed past. "We need to talk," she insisted, closing my office door. I remained seated. "I'm working, Amanda. Make an appointment. Stop being difficult. This is important. The Carmichael deal is next week." The Carmichael deal? Potentially the biggest client for her marketing firm. She'd been talking about landing it for months. "And?" I asked calmly. "And they specifically requested to meet my contractor boyfriend. I've been telling them about your business for months. They're building 3 new locations and need someone reliable." There it was. The real reason for this sudden urgency to reconcile. "So call a contractor," I suggested. "You're not short on options. Ryan, please. This account could make my career. I'm begging you." I considered her for a long moment. The woman who had laughed when her friend called me a loser, who had invaded my privacy, who now wanted to use my business for her advancement. "No." She stared at me in disbelief. "Excuse me." "No," I repeated, standing up. "I'm not your prop, not your backup plan, not your business connection. I'm the loser who tries his best, remember?" For the first time, I saw genuine regret in her eyes. Not for hurting me, but for losing access to what I could provide her. "The door's that way," I said, returning to my paperwork. "Lauren will show you out. Please don't come back." 2 days later, I received a text from a number I didn't recognize. "You were right. I'm sorry it took me so long to see it." It was signed simply A. I didn't respond. Didn't need to. Some bridges don't need to be rebuilt once they're burned. Last I heard, Amanda didn't land the Carmichael deal. Jess's affair with Mike's brother blew up spectacularly at a dinner party. And me? I landed the Carmichael contract anyway. Turns out they'd been researching contractors independently and liked my company's reputation. Sometimes the best revenge isn't about getting even. It's about getting away and letting karma handle the rest. Update date month later. Never expected this post to blow up like it did. Thanks for all the comments and messages of support. To address the most common questions. No, I haven't spoken to Amanda since that day in my office. Yes, I kept the ring. It's still in my safe. No, I don't regret walking away. Some developments worth sharing. The Carmichael contract is going well. 3 commercial buildings, all on schedule, all within budget. My team's killing it. Feels good to focus on what I do best without the drama. Mike finally found out about his brother and Jess. Turns out she'd been playing both of them for months. According to mutual friends, it got ugly. Shouting match at a family dinner, drinks thrown, the works. Mike and Emily are working through it, but his brother's no longer welcome at their house. Amanda's marketing firm lost the Carmichael account and 2 others when her boss discovered she'd been promising services they couldn't deliver, including exclusive access to her contractor boyfriend's discounted rates. She's still employed, but demoted. Karma works in mysterious ways. Got an interesting call from Amanda's dad last week. Unlike her mother, he's always been a straight shooter. Said he respected how I handled things. No drama, no public mudslinging. He's a contractor too, old school. Understood exactly why I couldn't let the disrespect slide. I raised her better than that, were his exact words. Made me realize the apple fell pretty far from that tree. The social circle that was so quick to call me controlling has gone suspiciously quiet since Jess's antics with Mike's brother came to light. Funny how a little truth changes perspectives. For those asking if I'm back in the game yet, no rush. Focusing on my business, my health, reconnecting with old friends who got sidelined during my relationship. Dating will happen when it happens. Meanwhile, I've signed up for some woodworking classes I've been putting off for years. Built my first custom table last weekend. Not half bad. Several commenters suggested I was too harsh, should have tried to work things out. Here's the thing. Respect isn't negotiable. Once it's clear someone sees you as beneath them, as someone who tries his best, but ultimately falls short, what's left to save? You can't build a future with someone who's settling for you while they wait for something better to come along. Final thought. Walking away doesn't make you weak. Sometimes it takes more strength to leave than to stay and fight for someone who doesn't value you. I chose peace over war, self-respect over others' approval. Best decision I ever made. Update. 6 months later. Final update, because closure matters. 6 months since that barbecue, and life has settled into a new normal. The business has grown, hired 5 more guys, bought 2 new trucks, landed contracts that'll keep us busy through next year. The Carmichael buildings are finished, and they've already referred us to 2 more clients. As for Amanda, I ran into her last week at a coffee shop. Wasn't planned, just one of those things that happens in a mid-sized town. She looked good, different somehow. More subdued, less performative. She asked if we could talk for a minute. We sat down at a corner table. No drama, no tears, just 2 adults having a conversation. She apologized, properly this time. Said losing me and the fallout with her firm had been a necessary wake-up call. Admitted she'd let Jess's influence shape her values for too long. Said she was in therapy now, learning to be more authentic. I told her I wished her well, and meant it. 3 years together doesn't just vanish, even when it ends badly. Some part of me will always care about her well-being. Are you seeing anyone? She asked, direct but not hopeful, just curious. Yes, I said. Been a few months now. I met Kate through my woodworking class. She's an architect, designs custom homes. Smart, straightforward, laughs like she means it. Respects what I do because she understands the craft behind it. We're taking things slow, building something solid. Amanda nodded, no drama. She's lucky to have you. I hope she knows that. We parted ways amicably. No plans to reconnect, no promises of friendship, just closure. Jess? Last I heard, she'd moved to another state after the fallout with Mike's family. Don't know, don't care. Some people never change, they just find new audiences for the same old act. For those who followed this story from the beginning, thanks for the support. The messages from guys who found the courage to walk away from disrespect mean more than you know. Standing your ground doesn't mean making a scene. Sometimes it's as simple as putting on your jacket and walking out the door. If there's a lesson here, it's this. People will treat you how you allow them to treat you. Set the standard early. Hold the line. The right people will respect it. The wrong ones will call you controlling, insecure, or oversensitive. Let them talk. Your peace is worth more than their approval. That's it for me. Back to building things that last. Edit. Some have asked what happened to the engagement ring. I sold it last month and used the money to put a down payment on a cabin upstate. Weekend getaway spot, something I've wanted for years. Better investment than a failed engagement. Edit 2. To the guy who messaged asking if I'd gotten soft because I spoke to Amanda at the coffee shop. Buddy, confidence doesn't need to be harsh. Being civil doesn't make you weak. It just means you've moved past the anger to indifference. That's not softness, that's freedom.